At Dark 30, it was time to begin another adventure, and that's what it really feels like. Every time I leave the house, it feels like I'm going on another adventure. What'll happen this time? I don't know. Let's find out together. Coming up. Every time I start out, I go down the driveway, turn down a one-lane road, and then I have to make the left turn onto a two-lane highway. Learning to make wide turns was really something that was different for me. I always saw trucks do it, and I never really understood it until I learned about watching your wagon. If those tail end goes off that hill, it's not going to be pretty. Two-lane state highways this time of night are dead. It is silent. It is the wonderful time to drive. You get to see so much. You got to watch out, of course, for deer. There are deer everywhere. It is known as the deer capital. Not long after I started driving, I hit 2 deer. I'll try and link the video up above. This was a case where I picked up a load which I took home with me and then was delivering it after home time. I do that occasionally. In the early morning hours, you can hardly tell that there's any traffic on the interstates. The interstates are wonderful to travel at this hour. My goal was to be at the distributor that I was delivering to when they opened their doors. This delivery was in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I made it about 20 minutes before they opened their fence. How come nobody ever shared with me about how great these breakfast bowls are? I guess that was just an aisle I never checked out in the grocery store. These things are fantastic. I was picking up my next load in Valdosta, Georgia. Upon arrival at any shipper or receiver, we have to pull aside, find a place to park, go inside, check in, and then they'll tell us what dock we're pulling into when they can. After being given a dock assignment, you slide your tandems to the rear and you back into the dock. Maybe I'll do a video where we can show about sliding of the tandems. That's kind of an interesting thing. I didn't even know the wheels moved on trucks before I got behind the wheel and started driving these things. And backing into the dock is very easy, especially in a place like this with wide open spaces. My load was paper rolls. Yes, just like the newsprint that we used to use at SCNI, I'm hauling big rolls of paper. Those black mats you see on the floor, those keep the big rolls of paper from sliding around. We don't use straps or load locks on paper rolls. I'm hauling this load to Pontoon Beach, Illinois, which is near St. Louis. I'm taking it to one of our terminals, my favorite kind of place to drop a load. This, of course, meant driving through Atlanta. Recognize this section of I-285? Traffic in Atlanta is always an adventure. My plan for the night was to shut down at a terminal we have in Cartersville. Cartersville is where I actually first started driving a truck. This is where many people start at MTI, Millis Training Institute, at Cartersville. Right there on the left, you see some trucks on the backing range, practicing all of those maneuvers. On the day that I shot this, you'll notice that I pulled into Cartersville in broad daylight, and it was time for me to take a 10-hour break. How do we sleep during broad daylight? Well, we have curtains on our windows. I have one of these. And all we have to do is fall asleep. You lay down in that bunk, fall asleep. Now, I may have been blessed with the gene that says when my head hits the pillow, I fall asleep, or I fall asleep and my head hits the pillow. I'm not sure. Either way, it's the same net result. I sleep well. And that's what we have to do as truck drivers. You learn to sleep when you can get a 10-hour break in, or when you can get a 7 or 8 hour break in, you sleep when you can and you roll when you have to. Until the next time, remember to share, like, follow, and be sure to hit that little bell when you subscribe so you'll see the next time I release a video. Until the next time, y'all stay careful out there.